In today's program, we'll see how volunteers in Southern Africa are helping the needy and also encouraging environmentalism. And we'll meet a doctor at Taipei Tzu Chi Hospital with 28 years of experience helping his community. Welcome to DaAi Headlines. I'm Duncan, DeAeth, and thank you for joining us. In our next report, we will hear about Tzu Chi's relationship with countries in Africa. Tzu Chi carried out its first distribution in South Africa way back in 2003. Now, over a decade later, Tzu Chi's compassion has spread to 7 countries, and it continues to grow. Now, we'll take a look back and see how Tzu Chi's mission in Africa began. The story of volunteers delivering Taiwanese rice to South Africa first began in 2003.
The trucks were overweight because of carrying the rice, so we were stopped by the police. After discussing the matter on the roadway, the police suddenly offered to take the volunteers to the distribution site.
We don't know where is Taiwan, so today we are very happy.
After more than a decade, Taiwan's love is still being delivered along with the rice, thanks to the efforts of Tzu Chi. Beginning with South Africa, Tzu Chi's love gradually expanded. There are now distributions in 7 countries where Tzu Chi is helping those in need. After the end of World War II, Taiwan was a country in need and relied heavily on assistance from the USA. Today, Taiwan continues that tradition by helping other countries. The tradition of international charity in Taiwan began when, after World War II, Taiwan became an important bulwark against communist expansion. So the USA began donating $100 million a year to Taiwan along with flour and milk powder. The flour bags, with their iconic image of the 2 flags with a pair of shaking hands, were also turned into clothing by many families. Now, as the world has developed, Africa is a land in need, and motivated by compassion, volunteers in Africa have been compelled to help the less fortunate in their homeland, just as Taiwan helped them, and in the same spirit that the USA once helped Taiwan.
We are so thankful that we have been able to carry the Master's love from Taiwan to Mozambique. We have been so blessed, so I want to share those blessings with others. In this part of the world, we have helped so many people. Being able to help others has made me so happy.
The love of the Taiwanese people has shortened the distance between South Africa and Taiwan. Now, many local volunteers are also helping their communities by assisting in rice distributions and helping to manage the DaAi farms established by Tzu Chi.
I was so happy the first time I saw a distribution event like this one, seeing your love come here and help them, not only giving the young and old food and assistance, but we have also taught them about love and compassion and encouraged them to help others as well.
Seeds of love continue to be planted in countries across Africa. This year, a rice distribution was held in Mozambique, where the smiling locals turned the bags into environmentally friendly bags as a way to pay back Tzu Chi. The happiness of African people can be seen clearly as they accept the rice donated from Taiwan. Spreading love and environmental awareness with the handmade bags, the compassion and positive impact of Tzu Chi continues to spread across Africa. Taiwan's foreign aid to Africa in the form of rice resulted in a lot of leftover sacks. A few quick-thinking Tzu Chi volunteers decided to recycle them into useful shopping bags. Recently, they returned to Taiwan and their handiwork was presented to the Council of Agriculture to thank them for their support.
These African Tzu Chi volunteers sing a song to express their thanks for love from Taiwan, which is also printed on the side of this bag, which was once used to deliver rice to Africa. Later, volunteers there used a little ingenuity and turned them into shopping bags.
We received the bags with the rice from Taiwan as a help of people of Mozambique. And then the empty bags, we recycle them as a way of sharing the life with the love of other peoples. So that way we bring this in order to spread the love.
We saved the string and reused it. We then strengthened the seam. This is the first bag that we designed.
Being environmentally aware with every action is something upheld by these African Tzu Chi volunteers. In fact, since 2002, the Council of Agriculture's food agency has been providing white rice as foreign aid. Over the years, it has distributed more than 280,000 metric tons of rice to the countries in need. In 2003, the Tzu Chi Foundation applied to this government agency to Jordan and Iran, along with Indonesia, the Philippines, and South Africa for a total of 17 countries.
So far this year until April, we have donated about 17,300 metric tons of rice. Probably more than half of these 17,000 tons have been distributed to disaster areas through the help of Tzu Chi.
They know this was donated and people gave it to us, so we don't keep it to ourselves. There are some places we don't know about where people are in need and they are willing to help and share.
The rice is donated by the Council of Agriculture's food agency, with Tzu Chi helping distribute it to those in need, helping carry out this virtuous cycle to benefit those in need.
Tzu Chi volunteers are there to care for their communities by helping relieve suffering, as well as cleaning and contributing wherever they are needed. Master Zheng Yan recently visited Jianghua to perform an end-of-year blessing ceremony to sow the seeds of compassion and the infinite power of love.
After her husband passed away, Tzu Chi care recipient Mrs. Wu had to live with her children in a converted pigsty. Tzu Chi's long-term care for this family has helped them overcome this difficult period. And for a child born with congenital heart disease, Ms. Chen's frail body has endured much, with her grandmother taking care of her.
From my birth till now, I have undergone 5 operations. In my heart, I believe that many important people have helped me.
Tzu Chi's sisters and brothers have been a great help, so we have not had to worry about finances.
While their lives have been bitter, their spirit is still strong, and Tzu Chi has been able to provide assistance for a decade.
长得那样漂亮啊，而且呢，身体也健康啊，这都是我们长期陪伴呐，看着新芽呢，这个种子啊，它呢，将来就会成为小树大树了。
Caring for the poor and providing help where it is needed guides Tzu Chi volunteers.
人本的爱心付出啊，不怕脏啊，不怕臭啊，很耐心的爱精神能量，长期这样陪伴过来。
Using our lives to inspire and help others spreads love and humanism, is the path of the Bodhisattva.
At DaAi Kindergarten in Malacca, Malaysia, students have been donating a little bit of rice every day to help provide food for children at a local orphanage. Additionally, the kids also make occasional visits to the orphanage where they play with the residents and offer toys, books, and other items. Let's take a look. These 130 students at DaAi Kindergarten in Malacca, Malaysia are donating a bit of rice every day to help share their blessings with those in need.
When they donate the rice, they also say a little word of blessing. Every day, this helps cultivate a good heart. Our aim is to show them that some people are suffering and help them recognize their own blessings. That's why we want to show them the children at the orphanage.
Every day, they donate a handful of rice, and along with their parents, they deliver it to the orphanage.
Because they are very poor and don't have rice to eat, our teacher asked us to donate rice for them.
We can stimulate a heart of compassion in the children now. Then from planting that seed, they will grow up and go on to spread more love in the future. I am happy. I'm very happy. Lots of kids came and I performed a dance.
In addition to the rice, some toys and books were also delivered.
We came to deliver stuff to them like toys, food, clothes, and books. They didn't have any books, so I gave them some so that they can study a little.
As they share companionship and rice to help the children of the orphanage, these students are also cultivating a heart of compassion and cherishing the blessings in their own lives. As we continue our Doctor's Day series, we introduce you to Dr. Li Jiafu from Taipei Tzu Chi Hospital's Department of Psychiatry. He has been practicing medicine for 28 years and was awarded by the Ministry of Culture for his contribution to the community, and also by the Ministry of the Interior for his drug education activism. In addition, he has been working with TIMA for 10 years and regularly participates in free rural clinics and home visitations. His dedication also earned him New Taipei's Healthcare and Medical Contribution Awards.
Entering this narrow alley and walking up this slope, one must travel to the patient's home. For many elderly people in rural areas or those suffering from dementia or mobility issues, Dr. Li Jiafu has been making home visits to them for more than a decade.
If we don't get out into the community or visit the homes, we can't see the whole picture. After we make such a visit, it may be just a tiny little action, but it can be a great help to the whole family.
Some patients get nervous when they leave home and go to the hospital, which can be also a lot of trouble for family members. Dr. Li each week makes home visits to help family members and stabilize the mood of patients.
小猪背着洋娃娃走到花园。他很想要接受医疗，但是他
He would like to receive medical treatment, but he has difficulty traveling back and forth to the hospital. When you are satisfied with their needs, you can see the whole family become quite happy. For a doctor, this is joy that we can feel in our heart, a sort of happiness for the whole family.
Seeing the joy patients and families receive is the fulfillment of Dr. Li's original intention to become a doctor. After 20 years of practicing medicine, he also actively cooperated with government programs to help with counseling following the 9/21 earthquake, an assessment of elderly depression, counseling students with mental disorders, which ultimately led him to win New Taipei City's Medical Contribution Award.
The earthquake on February 6th of this year caused the collapse of the Weiguan building in Tainan, Taiwan. 32-year-old Hong Jia-yi was buried under the rubble for 12 hours and was then hospitalized for 285 days. There, he underwent amputation surgeries. He was the last patient injured in the collapse of the Weiguan building and was recently discharged.
This family of three wear the similar shirts to celebrate Jia-yi's discharge from the hospital. His mother cannot stop crying when she recalls the 285 days Jia-yi spent in the hospital.
If you died, no one would call me mom. So while he was in the intensive care for 2 months, I didn't sleep.
He was trapped for 12 hours under the rubble before he was rescued. Then his heart stopped beating. He'd had over 20 surgeries in the hospital, and his both legs were amputated, but love and compassion always supported him.
I lost a lot in the earthquake, but I also gained a lot. If you run into problems, don't worry about it, because at least your friends will be there for you.
You must listen to music so you won't imagine things.
His neighbor Li Zhongdian often encouraged him, and Tzu Chi volunteers also accompany him often, but his optimism often allowed him to remain calm.
He has never been angry during this period. At most, he simply seemed to be experiencing a great weight or a little depressed.
Although he has lost both of his legs, after lots of therapy over 3 months, he is now ready to go home.
He was in bed for a long time, so he appeared very weak, but now he's grown like a muscular man.
A medical team and Tzu Chi volunteers go to his home to help him. He will soon receive training to using artificial legs, so he can walk on his own again.
In some hospitals around Taipei, the Dr. Red Nose program has been offering children a friend to get them through their difficult surgeries or treatments. The performers dress as clowns and visit individual children who are battling long-term illnesses to share a few laughs and help them relieve their anxiety. Here's more on the red-nosed clown doctors.
伸出来，慢慢的打开来。哇！
This young patient sitting in a wheelchair is delighted to see the red-nosed clown doctor putting on a show.
他第一次遇到红鼻子医师。
When he saw the red-nosed clown doctor for the first time, he was so happy. That night he told me, "Mom, really, I can do anything when I grow up."
It's really moved my heart because people always think of the work we do in a hospital as very stressful and difficult. But actually, it isn't like that. It's quite the opposite. We learn from the children much more than we give.
Since October 2016, Taipei Veterans General Hospital introduced the Dr. Red Nose program. As a neurosurgeon at the hospital, Dr. Chun Shinrong discovered that for those battling long-term illnesses, their emotional well-being also needed to be taken care of.
The red-nosed doctors can help us out before a surgical procedure. They can help ease the children's fears and anxiety before they go through their invasive treatment. This is great for the children and can help a lot of issues.
The Red Nose Doctor program was founded with the help from NGOs and aims to ease the suffering and anxiety of children undergoing treatment in hospitals around Taiwan. Tzu Chi volunteers recently headed to Yonghe District and Banqiao District of New Taipei to provide free vegetarian meals for elderly residents. They also invited them to do group exercises with activities like Tai Chi. They also taught them to make bamboo coin banks and helped them develop a good relationship with one another.
To bring residents in this community closer together, the borough chief of the Zhenxin Borough in Yonghe District of New Taipei collaborates with Tzu Chi volunteers to provide free meals for the elderly.
Tzu Chi has prepared nutritious vegetarian meals as lunch for the seniors. This will allow them to stay healthy. Volunteers also brought them love and care by offering them the chance to interact with one another with some activities.
In addition to inviting the seniors to join group activities, they also practice Tai Chi exercises. Volunteers also give them a lecture on healthcare to ensure they stay both physically and mentally healthy.
We seldom eat veggie food at home. I think it is delicious.
Both the borough chief and Tzu Chi are very kind-hearted because they all work hard for us. I am very grateful.
Meanwhile, volunteers are teaching seniors from Baishou and Jieshou boroughs of Banqiao district to make bamboo coin banks, encourage them to spread love through these coin banks. These seniors are living in the spirit of one is never too old to learn, as they successfully complete the mission of making their own coin banks while spreading love to the needy at the same time.
In the United States, 90% of students in San Bernardino, California come from disadvantaged families. Some of them even steal food from school due to hunger. To keep these students fed, local Tzu Chi volunteers launched a program to raise funds for fresh vegetables and fruits at the beginning of the year. 52,000 families are likely to benefit from the program. The first distribution will be held at the Indian Springs High School on November 20th.
Since the warehouse of DaAi vegetables and fruit has been established in the recycling classroom of the Tzu Chi USA headquarters, all of the furniture had to be moved out and many second-hand items and books have to be categorized properly. More than 20 volunteers are busy clearing out all of the items because they will locate some shelves and fridges here to help some students who have long suffered from hunger.
We want to set an example here so we make room for this special program. Since we have cleared out all of the items, we don't need to spend money renting a warehouse. If we really need it in the future, we can rent a larger one.
As San Bernardino, California, is the second poorest region in the United States, 90% of local students come from impoverished families. Some of them even steal food from schools due to hunger. Local Tzu Chi volunteers launched a fundraising event at the beginning of the year. with 52,000 families estimated to benefit from this program this year.
Apart from preventing them from going hungry, we also safeguard their health. So this time we will distribute fresh vegetables and fruit to them.
Different from distributing aid supplies from food banks, volunteers have to take good care of the fresh vegetables and fruit, which are stored in the warehouse.
We have to spend 1 to 2 days ensuring the quality of vegetables and fruits that we have bought. Then we will spend another day wrapping them. After all of this, we will deliver them to care recipients.
The first fruit distribution will be held at the Indian Springs High School, allowing each care recipients to have nutritious and delicious food on Thanksgiving Day.
In Malaysia, 5-year-old Lo Xin-yu used to eat fried chicken nuggets very often, and she disliked eating vegetables. That was before she attended Malacca's DaAi Educare Center at the age of 4. Her attitude changed after the kindergarten encouraged a meatless diet. She now wants to protect animals by eating veggies and has even vowed to eat 108 meatless meals.
Lo Xin-yu is happily eating the veggie meals with her family. However, this would have never happened just a few years ago.
Whenever she saw a fried chicken stall, she usually asked us to buy some fried chicken nuggets because she really liked eating them.
Xin-yu couldn't get used to the vegetarian meals when she attended Malacca DaAi Educare Center at 4 years old because she disliked eating veggies.
It seemed to be the first obstacle in her life. If I allowed her to switch to a different kindergarten, she may think that she could just avoid any difficulty in the future.
After Xin-yu's parents accepted the idea of eating veggies, the teacher helped them solve Xin-yu's problem.
We have encouraged her to eat veggies by showing her the benefits of vegetables using some books. For example, if we eat veggies, we will stay healthy because vegetables contain fiber and carrots a lot of red pigments. All of these will benefit our skin.
When this kindergarten promoted the act of going meatless in July this year, Lo Xin-yu vowed to eat 108 vegetarian meals.
Because I want to protect the animals, I asked myself not to eat meat. 63, 64, 65, 67, 68. If I go meatless for one more day, then I can give one more mark on the card.
Xin-yu keeps her promise as she eats veggie food every day. Her family supports her persistence in embracing vegetarianism.
I feel great and honored to cook veggie food for her.
Though I'm a Christian myself, I still encourage her to embrace vegetarianism. I should learn from her, and I think I'll become a vegetarian like her.
Volunteers in Northern California in San Jose have been offering free Sunday breakfast for homeless residents in the community for the past 16 years. Recently, the meal has been offered at a local elementary school. We'll leave you with these images at the end of the program. Thank you for joining us, and we will see you next time.